Hello and welcome back to another Raid Concert video, and in today's video I'm going over the various stereotypes of people who use various innate techniques within the game Jujutsu Infinite. Make sure to subscribe since only about 20% of the people watching this video right now are actually subscribed. Now let's get into it. If you use construction, you want to be different so bad. You have 1,000 spins worth of codes, and farming more spins is super easy, and yet you still choose to use construction because nobody uses it and you think having guns is cool. It's actually not that bad, and it can make some decent combos, but it's also just not worth using when you have 1,000 spins and absolutely don't have to take a common ever. So you just think you're too cool for the meta, so you go construction. Look, nobody uses tool manipulation. The only people who use tool manipulation have like 4 innate techniques total and only took this one because it lets you fly with the broomstick. This is easily the worst technique in the game for actual fighting, but I guess the utility is why people take it, so that doesn't really matter that much anyway. If you use cloning, you think it's funny to jump people. Every time you get into a fight, you're hoping it looks like Yuji and Nanami versus Mahito, because you literally only play PvP-based games to jump people. If you've ever played Rogue Lineage, you were a shinobi who rolled up on freshies with 4 other ultra classes, and that's who every clone user manifests into in an alternate timeline. If you use Boogie Woogie, you're just hoping it gets buffed. The reasoning for this is because the teleport range is pretty bad and it doesn't combo extend anywhere near as well as you think it would by watching the show. Boogie Woogie really isn't that good, but it works as utility, and if they buff it, which they probably will, I'm assuming, it could be kind of crazy team support in the future. I've never seen anyone using Blazing Courage. Like, literally nobody. Nobody uses this. It's another fire-based innate technique, but the Disaster's Flames is literally better. So if you want fire, just get Disaster Flames, which is why nobody uses it. According to this guy on Discord, he uses it and it's busted, but I do have my doubts. Oh my god, bro wants to be different so bad. Blood manipulation users are so annoying. This is like the construction user, except pretentious and annoying. If construction users live in Chicago, this guy lives in San Francisco, because every blood manipulation user talks about how underrated blood manipulation is for 16 of the 24 hours in a day, and the other 8 hours aren't spent sleeping, they're spent playing arena with their blood manipulation build. Like, you'll always know a blood manipulation user before seeing their technique, because they'll tell you about how they're a blood manipulation user and how underrated it is. Like, man, I don't care. Cryokinesis is actually pretty commonly used because Cryo has some really good stun freeze moves that can act as free combo starters. This is probably the most common rare technique to see because of this, and it's actually really viable. Because of that, a lot of people will go for this instead of techniques like Limitless, which is considered to be the worst special grade right now, because this kind of just gives you free combos. A lot of people are using Straw Doll right now, not really because of the technique itself, but because it's new. So a lot of people are just experimenting with this in-game, if not in the testing place. I don't really see this technique though, so it's kind of hard to pin any specific type of person on using this other than you like Nobara. Curse Speech is pretty much the same as Cryokinesis. Lots of the moves have guaranteed combo starters, which is why lots of people use this one as well. It's a bit worse than Cryokinesis in my opinion because it does less damage, but back when the devs voiced over the commands and it was way more popular because Curse Speech was funnier back then, people would use it. And now anyone still using it probably just wishes for the old light-skinned Curse Speech to come back, like me. If you use the ratio technique, your favorite character is Nanami. He's also my favorite character, but the only reason I don't use Ratio is because I don't really like how they did it in the game. If you want to know more about why I don't like Ratio as it is, it's because there's no interactivity to it. I wanted it to be like quick time event for crits, but that didn't really happen. It would have been cool because it would reward skillful players, but instead it's just a set of 2 moves and one of them does more damage after the other one hits, which is really boring to me. If you use Disaster Flames, you just like fire. It's usually a safe elemental choice in any video game, so you chose to stick with it in this game because it's also a legendary and has domain expansion, so you can assume it's a pretty fair choice. In its current state, if you use Judge Man, you only took it because it's a legendary. It only has like 5 moves right now, and the domain expansion does literally nothing. Judge Man is quite incomplete, and you literally only took it because you don't think you'll have enough luck to get Disaster Flames or a special grade. Because even right now, it's only got like 5 moves and only 2 or 3 of them are good, so it's like, it's not really worth using until they fix and buff it. If you use Sukuna's Vessel, you either got really lucky, or you're a Sukuna Meat Rider. This technique only has 5 skills currently, but they're a really good set for it being only 5 skills, so I would keep it, and in fact, I do, because I have it. If you weren't going for this because you're a Sukuna Meat Rider, you're just really lucky and end up with a special grade technique, and it happened to be this one, which is fine because they're all pretty good. Rika is the best PvE technique in the game. It absolutely shreds bosses, so anyone using this is probably just skydropping to every boss and shredding them in minute-long intervals. Rika is also decent in PvP, but overall it shreds in PvE and is really, really good. Idle Transfiguration is the best PvP technique in the game. Idle Transfiguration has tons of high damaging moves, a lot of moves combo really well, and the second best domain expansion in the game, behind Sukuna's Vessel. This is the meta right now, and there's so many people using it, there's not really a definite stereotype to it, other than you're probably a sweaty tryhard if you went for this. Or you got lucky. I personally just rerolled it because I hate Mahito, but that's just me. Limitless is my favorite technique in the game, because although Nanami is my favorite character, I'm a Gojo Meat Rider! I ride on that shit 24/7. I be taking those Limitless infinite back shots, and I don't even care! Anyway, if you use Limitless, you're a Gojo Meat Rider, guaranteed, because it's the worst special grade in the game right now. However, it does have my favorite domain expansion because it allows me to dance on people as they're infinitely stunned, and then I hit them with a 10,000 damage combo that they can do nothing about. Heavenly Restriction is exclusively for Toji Meat Riders. You have to be a Toji Meat Rider if you're using Heavenly Restriction, because nobody except people who are in love with Toji are going to spend $20 to not be able to use an innate technique or the base curse technique kit, which is really strong. But honestly, I don't really blame you for meat riding Toji. Other than that, it's also the second best PvE tool in the game, right behind Rika, and it also absolutely shreds bosses like Rika, so these guys also love Fortnite dropping directly onto every boss and slamming them as fast as possible, but the reason why they do it is because they don't want anyone else to get the quest rewards and they just want to be huge assholes. Anyway, candy tier list. Laffy Taffy starting overall is a C tier. The pink and blue flavors are good, but the yellow flavor brings it down overall, and it always gets stuck at the top of my mouth, and I don't like that. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are going into the A tier. Chocolate and peanut butter are just good. Like, there's no arguing with that. And if you have a peanut allergy, stop trying to gaslight everyone into thinking it's a health condition, because it's fake. Kit Kat is going into the S tier. Such a classic. I love Kit Kats. Absolutely amazing. Toblerone is also going into the S tier. This is my favorite chocolate pyramid, I guess? S tier, whatever. Heath is also going into the S tier. I love Heath just as much as Toblerone, and if you've never had one, eat one as soon as possible. Skittles are going into the B tier. They also have trans fats, which give you cancer and should never be eaten, so they're bad for you. Sour Patch Watermelon is A tier. I don't really think I have to explain this. However, Sour Patch Regular are going into the C tier because, yeah, the blue and the red are good, but the rest are kind of mid, and the orange is just bad. And, you know, the watermelon is consistently peak, so they're not comparable. So where are York Peppermint Patties going? That's like F tier, right?
Dude, S. Dude, S.
What is wrong with you?
They're good. Nice and minty.
Okay, so I'm gonna disagree with you. Put that in F tier because I don't like them.
No, I feel like we can compromise. Maybe I'll take a C. I'll take a C.
No, I think it's my video and it's going into the F tier because they're terrible. Next is M&M's, which are A. They're basic, but they're good. Hershey's Regular is going into the B tier. Basic, baseline, mid. I don't really like regular Hershey's that much. Hershey's Cookies and Cream, however, is going into the A tier for being a bit better. Snickers are kind of just too much shit inside of a chocolate brick, so like C tier. I'll eat them, but I always feel terrible after eating a Snickers, even if it's like the fun size ones. Fruit Chews are F. Every time I would have one of these blue ones as a kid, I would put it in my mouth thinking it's blue raspberry, and it tastes like cum! I don't like Fruit Chews. Jolly Ranchers are S. No arguing with that. Just not the purple ones. Gummy Bears are going into B tier for bear, and Gummy Worms are going into A tier for W. And finally, Fruit Snacks, which are A tier because they're good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a good day, and as always, make sure to subscribe and join my Discord. The next video is guaranteed to be the incorrect summary of Arcane Odyssey featuring Maxor, so look out for that. It'll be out around October 6th, which is when I'm trying to get it out. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day, and goodbye.